Dividend investing is how you can actually get paid just for owning stocks. Dividends are what a company pays you just for buying and holding their stock. That money goes straight into your bank account like a direct deposit from work, literally. I'm Joyee Yang, and welcome back to my Investing for Complete Beginners tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how dividends work. I will share everything about dividend investing, especially the things I wish someone had explained to me when I first started. So if you're brand new to investing and want to learn how to build passive income step by step, make sure you save this video and hit that like button. Let's quickly cover the basics. Dividends are payments a company makes directly to its shareholders in cash. You can think of it as a thank you payment. Since you're part owner of the company, you get a part of the profit. Dividends can be paid annually, so once a year, or quarterly, 4 times a year, or even monthly. It depends on the company. But keep in mind, not every company pays dividends. Usually, larger and more established companies do. Here's a quick example. Let's say you buy shares of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola pays dividends quarterly, meaning 4 times a year. So every 3 months, they pay you money just because you hold their stock. The more shares you own, the more dividend payments you'll get. Let me show you how simple it is to check if a company pays dividends. Does Coca-Cola pay dividends? And it does. Just like this, you can see whether your favorite company pays dividends and when. Now that you understand what dividends are, let's talk about an important concept. A key difference, dividend amount versus dividend yield. When you first start investing, you'll see 2 terms pop up all the time, dividend amount and dividend yield. Let me break it down clearly so you won't get confused like I did when I first started. First, dividend amount. The dividend amount is simply how much money you get paid for each share that you own. It's always shown in dollars. So TD Bank pays you $1.05 for every share that you own, and they pay you quarterly. So if you had 40 shares of TD Bank, here's how you'd calculate how much dividends you get. So they pay you $1.05 and you have 40 shares. That means they'll pay you $42. This means you'll get $42 deposited directly into your account. Easy enough? So that is how you calculate the amount of dividends in dollars that you can receive based on how many shares you own. Take a screenshot here if you need, and if you do, you can also post this on your Instagram story and tag me because I will reshare it. Next is dividend yield. The dividend yield is a percentage, so the amount is in dollars, the yield is a percentage. It tells you how much a company pays in dividends compared to its current stock price. This helps you quickly see if a stock pays good dividends compared to how expensive it is. Let me repeat. The dividend yield tells you if a stock pays you well considering how much you are paying for a share. Here's how you calculate dividend yield. Feel free to take a screenshot of this. Let's go back to TD Bank for this example here. So TD Bank pays you $1.50. Remember, it's quarterly. So you'd have to multiply this by 4 to get the annual amount. Going back to the calculator, $1.05 times 4. That is the annual dividend amount. And you have to divide this by the stock price, $83.98. $83.98 equals, that times 100 equals basically 5%. This tells you that if you invest in TD Bank at this stock price, you'll earn about a 5% return per year from dividends alone. Please don't get intimidated by the math, guys, because you actually do not need to calculate any of this when you are investing. However, you should know that the amount is different from the yield so that when you are checking a stock on Yahoo Finance or Google, you know what dividend yield means. To summarize clearly, dividend amount is actual dollars paid per share, so like 50 cents, $1, $1.05. We all know the stock price goes up and down all the time, but the dividend amount stays the same. Dividend yield is the dividend amount as a percentage of the current stock price. Since the price of the stock fluctuates, it changes all the time. Here's why dividend yield is always more accurate. For an example, if I buy 10 shares of TD at $85, I will get the dividend payment of $1.05. So that's a 4.94% yield. But if you buy 10 shares of TD at $95, that's only a 4.42% yield. We're still getting paid the same amount of dividends per share, $1.05, but we both bought shares at different prices, so the yield is actually a more accurate reading. I have the better yield at 4.94%, so I get more money for what I paid for, and you have the lesser yield, only 4.42%. Again, since we have the same amount of 10 shares, we get paid the same amount of dividends, but I paid less money to get the exact same amount of dividends as you. If this makes sense to you, comment dividend down below so I know you're following along clearly. Now let's move on to a very important step. Figuring out if the company you like is a good dividend stock and if you can count on them long term. So how do you know if a company has a good dividend? Just because a company pays dividends right now doesn't mean they'll always be reliable. Remember that. So here's how you quickly check if a dividend stock is actually worth investing in. Step 1, check the dividend history. The best way is to simply go to Google, type in the company name, and then type in stock dividends history. So for example, Coca-Cola or Enbridge stock dividends history. When you look at the dividend history, you want to pay attention to two things. Consistency. Has the company ever skipped dividend payments or reduced them significantly? Or growth. Has the dividend amount consistently increased over the years? Reliable dividend stocks rarely miss a payment and consistently increases the amount over time. Here's a pro tip from me. Choose companies that increase their dividends consistently. Even if it's a small amount, it shows that the company is stable and values its investors. Step 2, find the dividend aristocrats and dividend kings. Now here's something that I wish I learned earlier. Some dividend stocks have special titles called dividend aristocrats and dividend kings. Dividend aristocrats are companies that have been paying and growing their dividends for 25 consecutive years. For Canadian companies, it's at least 5 consecutive years. Dividend kings are even better. These companies have been paying and growing their dividends for at least 50 consecutive years. That means that they've never missed a payment and they've raised their payments consistently for 50 consecutive years. Consecutive, meaning no missed payments or raises. Companies with these titles are among the safest dividend investments because they've proven their reliability for decades, literally longer than I've been alive. For an example, Johnson & Johnson and Coca-Cola are dividend kings. Enbridge and TD Bank are examples of Canadian dividend aristocrats. So when you're looking at a stock, finding out if it's a dividend aristocrat or dividend king can quickly tell you how reliable the dividend payments will be. So I just gave you guys 2 simple ways to choose a good dividend stock for your portfolios. 1, always check dividend history to see if payments are consistent and growing. 2, preferably choose stocks with the dividend aristocrat or dividend king status. Screenshot this quick recap so you don't forget. The next section is the juicy part. We are going to learn about a simple automation that you can set up on your investing app. This is one of the best ways to grow your investments even faster using something called a drip. What is a drip and why you must use it? DRIP stands for Dividend Reinvestment Plan. This is my favorite investing tool because it makes growing your investments more automatic. Here's how a DRIP works in simple terms. Every time a company pays you a dividend, instead of sending the money to your bank account, your broker automatically uses that money to buy more shares of the same stock. Let me give you a real-life example from my own portfolio. Every month, when I get paid dividends from stocks like Enbridge or TD Bank, my broker immediately uses that dividend money to buy more shares automatically. See this email? We'll automatically reinvest this dividend back into buying more shares. This happens behind the scenes. I don't have to do anything. It's like setting your dividends on autopilot. Here are the 5 benefits of using DRIP. 1, automatic investing. You don't have to remember to reinvest your dividends. It's done for you automatically. Perfect if you're busy or tend to forget. 2, 0 fees. DRIPs usually have 0 commission fees. You're basically getting free reinvestment of your dividends. 3, compound growth. Because you're consistently buying more shares with your dividends, your portfolio grows faster, and each dividend payment buys more shares, and those new shares produce even more dividends. So it's a snowball. 4, fractional shares. DRIPs let you buy fractional shares. So even if your dividend payment isn't enough for a full share, your broker will still invest it. And my personal favorite, free equity. This is so girl math. If you know, you know. I love seeing my dividend emails because it feels like I'm getting free shares. So, are you ready to set up your drip for your dividend stocks now? If not, what are you waiting for? Here's my simple tutorial on Wealthsimple. If you use another brokerage, the process should be similar, or you can always contact the support team. So you just go to this arrow thing at the bottom, and then you go to automations, and then you go into dividend reinvestments, and then you just turn it on. I already have it on, but pretty sure it's the reinvest eligible dividends toggle here. And then I have it on for my TFSA and my non-registered account. And that's it. This is probably my personal favorite tutorial in this Investing for Complete Beginners series. I love dividends. Comment drip if you now know how to use this tool. It's free, automatic, and helps you grow your investments faster. Let me know what you guys want to see next on this beginner series. Also, click this video to learn how to invest and what to buy now during a slower market. See you in the next video.